Right. So, good evening, everyone. I'm Rahul Reddy. I'm a mentor at Career Launcher Bangalore. I have with me Mrigank Jain, CLAT 24, All India rank holder 137, and a Karnataka state rank of 8. So, welcome, Mrigank. So,
Thank you,
let's
sir.
start.
Good evening. Yes.
Let's start right at the beginning. So, when did you get this idea that you want to be a lawyer?
So I got the idea of becoming a lawyer in grade 10. It was not a very common profession in my family at the time. However, I think at the time there was a advent of law, especially in our age group and with our like immediate seniors. So I was inspired from them, and because I never considered law as a career option before grade 10, and after being introduced to the CLAT through them, and after being introduced through it through debating and money, which are both things I really like to do, I decided that I think I would be a good fit for law as a profession.
Okay. So, while you said nobody in the family is from this background, but so what happened when you discussed it in the family that you wanted to be a lawyer?
So, sir, they were very supportive of my decision to become a lawyer because at that time I didn't have a particular career option settled upon before that, and after I had come to the realization that I wanted to do law and wanted to pursue law in the future, they were mostly relieved. And in addition to that, it was they were very supportive of every decision I took, and I'm like forever grateful to them. Yes, sir.
Okay, so they were happy that you had clear a clear goal in front of you.
Yes, sir.
Okay, okay, good. So you studied in the Dean's Academy, right?
Yes, sir.
What stream did you take in 11 and 12?
Humanities, sir. Humanities.
So that was also because you decided to be a lawyer, you thought humanities works well with that. Is that the idea?
Yes, sir. So I thought the subject itself would fit, and my seniors who had done law before, they had also taken the humanities stream, and they found certain subjects that were in humanities to be helpful not only in the entrance preparation, but in their college journeys as well to a certain extent. So such as economics and political science. So similarly, I decided to pursue humanities in 11th and 12th in order to do that.
Hmm, right. But you do, of course, see that the people that you prepared with, and some of them will join you in the college, are from different streams. So you will get a mix of people from science, commerce, and humanities streams. Okay. That again actually makes a place so much more vibrant because you get people from all streams in that sense. Good. Then your journey started with Career Launcher Indranagar, right? So the
Yes,
first
sir.
person you probably would have met would be Deepa.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Right. So Deepa is one of our more senior managers with us, center managers. So uh, anything that you would talk about the way she helps people or organizes things?
Yes, sir. So Deepa ma'am was very, very helpful, and I think without her, like she keeps the center running at all times. She understands the students, and she's able to provide what the students need. So all the mocks tests came on time. They were administered
Mm,
properly, and the center
mm,
was run very effectively. All the staff at Career Launcher were of the utmost help, and I don't think it would have been possible without them. So Animesh sir and Sridhar sir as well. And yeah, so I think that because of them is the only reason that I was able to continue this, and I was able to be like crack the exam ultimately.
right. So any you've taken up the 2 year program, right? From class 11
Yes,
itself.
yes, sir.
Okay. So how did the progress happen in terms of the first year is probably more on the basics and the fundamentals and introduction. What did you find really interesting in the first year?
So sir, at that point in time, I was completely new to the field of law, and an introduction like that was probably the best way I would like to have the field introduced to me, and later would like to introduce it to the future or people preparing for CLAT next year or in the subsequent years, wherein from a very base level of knowledge, I was not only provided the required knowledge by the mentors, but also provided by the ways in which how to acquire such knowledge in the future, and provided with the innate sense of curiosity through which I was able to like expand my horizons in the field. So the first class taken by Animesh sir didn't necessarily have to literally do with the law. It was a very general question he posed us, and later on we could see how legal principles could be applied in that situation. So we started from a place of critical thinking and then evolved to a place of law.
Wonderful. In fact, one of the things that we notice is that the legal classes tend to be very, let's say, vibrant, you could say, or also sometimes noisy affairs, where there's a lot of, questioning and debate and people agreeing, disagreeing. But I think one thing that typically Animesh does is that he says, look, you can disagree, but you should have an argument to back your disagreement. You can't simply say that I don't agree. This is okay, make your point of view, explain why you don't agree. And that is where that the ability to think really comes out. Wonderful. Right. Then we look at the marks. The second year is probably where most of the marks were written.
Mhm.
And you've taken almost all the marks, perhaps. That
Yes, sir, all the marks.
again, it's kind of de facto point as far as the good students, serious students are concerned. But I wanted to make that point that it is important to take a mark, and perhaps when the next batch of students looks that look, all the toppers have taken all the marks, it kind of motivates them to ensure that they take all the marks. And you've probably also taken the marks offline in the center.
Yes, sir. So just to add
Mm,
to that, I think
mm,
taking the mocks sometimes for me, so I've been able to take it, but upon performing poorly in some mocks, and that's inevitable, wherein like you will perform poorly, especially near the beginning, it becomes very difficult to motivate yourself to analyze the mock. But I think that
mm,
getting through that and just believing that it's okay, just and I had to keep repeating to myself that oh, it's all right, just like analyze it, look at it, and only through analysis and through discussion, like I was able to. So I think Sridhar sir said this once as well, and it's like stuck with me, wherein just writing the mock, it's useless. So in the sense that if you write a mock without analyzing it, you're not achieving anything, in the sense that it's better off for you to just go fly a kite for 2 hours. But if you analyze it after, then only you can gain the valuable insight and apply it to the next mark.
absolutely. Think it is by nature when you take say 30 marks or 40 marks, it is, I mean, it has to be that there'll be some which don't go well, so it can't be that you'll give 40 perfect marks. So the key is to look at it as a, as you said, as a learning experience or a learning tool rather than some kind of judgment made on your ability. So that helps. And the reason I asked about the marks being taken offline is also to again use this platform to motivate students that yes, we do give an option of taking the marks online, but that's more for in case you're not able to take it physically. And we encourage students to take it offline because as long as CLAT remains an offline exam, it makes sense to take it offline. And this year, we also did this thing of bringing people together from all parts of Bangalore for the common exams at St. Joseph's. Right. So, did that really help? Did you get that exposure of a real CLAT kind of experience?
Yes, sir, definitely. And I think that was one of the best parts of the CL experience. So I think what goes very understated is like the mental game and the mental toll of CLAT, wherein I think 1 week, no, even 2 weeks before the exam, I had that sense of dread set in, where in 2 weeks you have to give this exam. And it was honestly a very scary feeling, and having to deal with that alone would be impossible. However, having the support of my friends in Career Launcher as well as the support of Career Launcher itself, and through the Joseph Smoke, especially the 1 week before CLAT, wherein it was conducted exactly like the exam, I was able to calm myself down and see, okay, I pretended that it was the actual exam, and then after writing
Right.
it, it was like it was not so bad after. Yeah, very manageable.
Right. Great. So, uh, yeah, that was the exact next point that I was trying to come to, is that the peer group plays a very important role. I think that's something that we also realized over the years that almost all the toppers talk about, the support of the friends. Sometimes it's a formal study group, sometimes it's not formal, there's always interaction between very motivated students who kind of work together, push each other, and that helps. So, did you have a formal study group or a set of people that you would discuss your performance preparation with?
Yes, sir. So my study group mainly consisted of, so it consists of a lot of people, and but the most important person was Pradyut. So because of Pradyut, and like I think both of us helped each other a lot, wherein we gave each other the motivation to study. And there were also two other people for GK, Kavya and Vianka, wherein we started in August on our GK doc, and all four of us were able to work very effectively and expand on the doc and create something that we found very useful near the later stages of our preparation. And sir, lastly, alumni as well, wherein people last year who had gotten into NLS, they had also helped me tremendously, or other law colleges. So, my seniors, one of them was Ayesha Khan, who was the topper last year.
Last year.
Um,
Yes, yes.
and so her help was also instrumental. And Rajat, who had gotten into NLIU Bhopal last year, he is probably like the main reason I'm even able to do this, and he had helped me a tremendous amount. And yeah, I'm always grateful to all of them.
So again, that's one reason why the obviously sometimes students have their own connects with people at NLS and seniors, but we wanted to also see that everybody gets that chance, and then we brought the toppers last year to interact with the next year. Something that we hope that all of you guys also would come and meet the 25 CLAT batch, so that the same passing on of not just the actual tips, but also the mental part, the
Yes.
focus on the mental part, the motivation that really helps. Good. Glad to know that your close friend and study buddy is also going with you to the same college.
Yes.
The good good feeling there. And yes, Aisha will be there 1 year senior in that sense. And we will also look at a meet like we did last year, where we'll bring in the toppers. You probably know the Indranagar crowd. We'll bring in the people from Malleshwaram, Kormangla, Jayanagar, Vijayanagar. I think that will create. We're actually going to have probably a set of maybe 25, 30 plus people who will probably go from CL to NLS Bangalore itself, plus others going to other NLS and other top colleges. Good. Coming to the actual mock, where did you take it? Sorry, actual CLAT. Where did you take that exam? What was the
uh,
center?
so I got B.R. Ambedkar Institute of Technology, and
Okay. Hmm.
I think that was also like a very key point. So Pradyut told me this a day before the exam, wherein he thought that as it was the farthest center from our house, it was
Hmm.
very useful because he wouldn't be worrying the whole time. However, if the center was closer, if it was Joseph's or something, he would be worrying the entire time to the exam. So I think the long drive really helps like calm you down, because you have no choice but to calm down on the way to the center. And constantly talking with my family and my mother, especially who has supported me like throughout this journey, really helped me through that and making it all the way to the center. And yeah.
Right. So you start the exam, and then you probably would realize, as we all did, that it's a little weird.
Hmm.
Ultra easy English, GK questions where answers are there in the passage itself. So, how did you feel when you saw these things?
So, sir, I started with legal. So, I started all my mocks with legal as well. And my first
Hmm.
legal passage was perfectly normal. As in, it was very similar to like last year's legal. It was the PRB bill. So, I read the first passage. First few questions were fairly normal. Then, my next passage was the Juvenile Justice Act, which was a passage in which all the questions were directly given in the passage. So, then I think I had like this feeling of shock. I thought I was missing something first, and it couldn't be like exactly like this.
That's simple.
um yeah, so then uh, I kept doing the paper, and then I realized that upon reaching the logical section, my first passage was the consulting, so wherein you were given the head of a firm, and
Right.
then you had to like make the decisions. And that was
Correct.
something that I thought CLAT would definitely do, like twist something in the paper, as they are notorious for every year. And I thought so logical would be the section that they twist. However, after that passage, the rest of logic was fairly normal. Then going to GK, and then I realized what the actual twist in the paper was, wherein a lot of the GK questions were given in the passage, and they were up to interpretation and reading comprehension. Usually, sir, I leave 10 minutes for GK, like in the middle. However, this time, because you had to read the passage, I took slightly more time to complete GK. And then moving on to English, and then maths. So it was very shocking feeling when looking at some of the sections of this paper, and being able to adjust the time management there and being able to adjust strategy on the fly, like in the exam itself, I think is a must, and like everyone should be ready to do that, both in CLAT and mostly in ALET, where they change the pattern very
Mm.
regularly.
Yeah. So even in CLAT, you would probably see then, yes, you had to take a little more time in GK, but you could probably do English faster,
Yes.
and that ensures. And if you had enough time, you could actually make quant count because it was fairly straightforward quant.
Yes, sir. So I was
I
able to
think.
finish quant entirely. Some like
Hmm.
I because of the fact that English was fairly easy, and quant this year was easier than it was last year. So it really helped there, and I think without quant, which most people underestimate, I don't think I would have like not even close. Like I wouldn't have been able to crack it.
Right. So I'm pretty sure from the time that the number of questions went down to 120, mentors at CL were telling you, look, quant can be the key. Quant can be the key. I personally remember that probably every batch that I've had gone to, I would have probably repeated this point that yes, quant is important. Don't underestimate it, and that actually worked out this time. So you probably would have attempted almost all the questions in the paper the way it progressed.
Yes, sir. The whole paper.
All paper. So that's again a pretty important thing to highlight for people who are watching. When there is an easy paper, uh, it makes sense to increase the speed and ensure you know it's going to be high scoring. Then you end up attempting more and giving yourself a chance. Right? I'm not saying that if you attempt everything, you'll automatically get through. That's not that simple. At least it gives you a chance. If you under attempt, then you're not really giving yourself a chance in a difficulty. Again, important that you don't take the wrong message and say, look, any type of paper I will attempt everything. That won't work. But knowing that it's an easy paper and adapting, as Mrigank said, that I can do this fast because it's easy, or I need more time here because the answers were there in the passage and I had to search. So that adaptability is the key. Good. So few days between the end of the paper, you were satisfied, happy that you've done your best.
Yes, sir. So I was fairly satisfied that I've done my best, and the ALET was next week,
Mm,
as in the week after CLAT. However, I didn't want
mm,
to. So I checked with the provisional key,
mm.
and then I think I was slightly so in the sense that a lot of the answers I found to be very different from what I had in mind. So I thought that, oh, maybe this wouldn't go my way, and I was waiting for the final key as well. So I was trying to prepare for ALET at the same time. So I was in a state of limbo wherein I was still preparing for ALET and still keeping tabs on CLAT regularly in order to see where I stand.
It was exceptionally difficult this year because there's a lot of speculation about what the final rank and score matrix would look like and what score would be enough and not enough. Uh, Both because the paper changed and the number of questions went down. Good. And first reaction when you saw your rank?
I think Pradyut called me when he got his rank, and then I didn't know the ranks had come out. I had just gotten home at the time, so I got a call from him, and then he informed me that the ranks had come out. So I think my hands were shaking while I was checking the rank, and I checked it, and so I was able to check it, and then my first reaction was like very happy. So finally, that both of us were are able to go to college together next year, and that was a really important thing to me, as well as Bangalore, because my family is based in Bangalore, and it's like easier to see them regularly if I go to college here as well. So I was very happy, sir, when I saw my rank.
Absolutely. Good. So yes, I think it's often underestimated how much how important parental support is for any of these kind of high stress competitive entrance exams. So my congratulations to your family and everyone who supported you. They deserve as much credit as you for the success. And so we, on behalf of CL, anyway, we're going to have a larger meet uh, where we kind of bring together all the toppers. But my congratulations once again, and my best wishes for 5 awesome years at NLS and a great career up.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much.